remember the before times? Today, I want to take a journey into the before times. The before times. The before times. Today's venture is to examine an artifact from the before times. 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 The before... Have you ever been going about your day-to-day business and thought, what if there were snakes in this situation? What up, it's your girl. I'm here in my trash fortress, where I belong, and today I want to talk about snakes in a plane, because, if you're wondering what's actually up with this setup, the answer is very simple. I've gone insane, so that's that. Hello! Snakes on a Plane is a film I've always had a sort of lingering curiosity about. It came out when I was far too young to watch it. Feel free to feel old now if you want. When it came out back in 2006, Snakes on a Plane became what we would now refer to as a meme.
God, let's move on to the next topic. Famous last words. Of course it's not a poisonous snake. What would a poisonous snake be doing on a plane?
I'll be honest, that joke is a lot funnier outside the explicit context of already talking about snakes on a plane. So not only are my jokes bad, I'm now also ruining other people's. Woohoo! The film's meme status left an impression on my young mind, and since the world is probably gonna end soon anyway, I thought I'd take a look back at this old artifact of the culture we're going to lose, and ask, was it really that great anyway? No! But where are the snakes? Oh, what? That's not where snakes are supposed to be. Like all great movies, Snakes on a Plane starts with about 3 minutes of footage that's almost entirely irrelevant to the rest of the film. Then we quickly get thrust into the plot as eyewitnessman witnesses a murder. He's spotted by, well, Plain Snake Boy, who wants him dead to eliminate all witnesses. Eyewitnessman escapes on his dirt bike, leaving a plot-significant can of Red Bull on the scene, thrusting the plot of the film into action. Eyewitnessman is attacked in his accommodation. The attack comes from Snake Plane Boy's goons, who want to dispose of him because, you know, he witnessed a murder. They manage to find him by, but before they can kill him, Eyewitnessman is intercepted by FBI agent Samuel L. Jackson, who takes on the role of protecting him.
Go, that way.
Oh yes, very epic. Now, Eyewitnessman didn't call the police, which may be bringing two distinct questions to your mind. One, how did they find him? And two, hang on, wait, what? He didn't call the police? Why?
Why didn't you call the police?
The news said they were corrupt, so I figured to be in on it.
Smart kid.
Oh, okay, if you fucking say so. Eyewitnessman is taken to the police, where, among other things, they actually bother to explain how these people managed to find him.
I know you were there, your prints are all over it, so stop insulting my intelligence. You witnessed a murder.
Does anyone want to tell this man that there's actually more than one time, and the fact that two people have been in the same place doesn't mean that... no, again foiled because I forgot about the consistent linear progression of time. I hate it when that happens. Either way, Agent Samuel L. Jackson convinces Eyewitnessman to testify against Snake Plane Boy, at which point we cut to the airport and start getting introduced to the rest of our characters. The writers for this project came up with a really cool, new and innovative way to write 3D fleshed out characters. What they would do is they would take a stereotypical, unoriginal trope character from the stock character bargain bin. They would change one entirely superficial thing about that character, and then BAM! New, original, fleshed out character. It's really very clever. Take, for example, their rapper character, who is in every way a stereotypical, cliched, two-dimensional rapper character from the trope bin. Except he has a phobia of being touched, which makes him a three-dimensional, completely fleshed out original character. By the way, this isn't just me roasting the film, this is actually how they explain it in the behind the scenes.
It sort of did start out taking characters who were archetypical and then adding flesh to them. The rapper character, he's an amalgamation of these kind of like egotistical rappers that you see.
Could you let her know not to touch me, son?
It's also, how do we make him three-dimensional? And so I wanted to say, well, what if he's a touch freak?
Oh, please, don't touch the man. Man don't like to be touched.
Well, You really fleshed him out! Agent Samuel L. Jackson is your stereotypical hard-ass FBI agent trope, but we don't like having tired cliches in our films, so to really flesh him out and make him stand above the pack, we gave him a moustache. We soon get our second scene of Snake Plane Boy, who is discussing his snake-related plan.
Are you sure about this?
Accidents happen. You think I didn't exhaust every other option?
This scene, by the way, is the only explanation we get as to why he's decided that he's going to assassinate someone by filling a plane with snakes. I've exhausted every other option. I don't actually have to say anything to make fun of this.
Oh, he just didn't have any options.
I guess, well, no, he sent 3 guys to the guy's home with guns, and the guy ran away.
Oh, damn.
So I guess the next option is snakes.
Yeah, cross that one off. Next down on the list. Snakes. Of course.
He has 2 kinds of people on his payroll. Goons and snakes. Ah, well, that murder attempt failed. Time to call my snake man. Okay, it's a silly premise, we know. I mean, I've spent so much time on the "we've exhausted every other option" line that I wouldn't blame you if you thought the line "accidents happen" had slipped completely under my radar. Like, what kind of accident are you describing here? I have more questions now. Anyway, our amazing 3-dimensional characters get loaded onto the plane, and honestly, this is where the film should have started. The first 10 minutes are, in effect, entirely useless. There's nothing in them that the audience needs to know that doesn't get explained more elegantly later on, in terms of structure, pacing, and just what fucking needs to be there. Starting here makes so much more sense. We'd open with the plane being boarded. We'd still have the scenes that are already there of the flight attendants talking about how the FBI have taken control of first class to transport a high priority passenger, and slowly learn why over the course of the film in scenes that are already there.
Mind if I ask what you did?
Ever heard of Eddie Kim?
Who hasn't?
I'm a witness for the prosecution.
The film should start here. It should also end here and just not exist.
In Hawaii for vacation?
I was there for the kickboxing tournament.
Oh my god, you're a kickboxer? Me too.
Come on, take it easy, buddy. You okay?
Son of a...
This is a weird scene, right? Like it's not just me. Why did that happen? I'll tell you why it happened. This is set up for later when this guy starts martial artsing the snakes. You know what though? It's time. Release the snakes!
Accidents happen.
So now the snakes are loose on the plane. Here we go. To start off this portion of the film, we get treated to some snake cam, which is tinted green and blurry because that's what snakes see, I guess. It's split into like dual vision. Is that because snakes have 2 eyes? Do you guys realize that in true horror cliche fashion, our first snake attack comes when 2 incidental characters sneak away to do a sex on each other? Sex? You have angered the snakes. As much as I would like to, I'm not going to show you this scene. Let's just say it was gratuitous and move on. The snakes spread throughout the plane. Like the whole plane is crawling with snakes. Every area, even the area with the passengers in it, is full of snakes. The film tries to convince you that somehow nobody's noticed them yet. Not a single soul on this reasonably packed 2-story plane has noticed that it is full of snakes. Who wrote this? Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. Our second snake attack comes when a poor innocent soul makes the mistake of going to the toilet and talking to his penis.
That's my big boy.
Which angers the snakes. I've never said that sentence before, but ideally would like the opportunity to one day say it again. This is another scene that I would really love to show you, but can't. Let's just play the audio.
Fucking thing! Get off my dick!
It just bites him in the dick and won't let go. It takes a full 10 minutes of the plane being in this snake-filled state for the passengers or crew to notice, but soon they do.
think I didn't exhaust every other option?
A snake gets into the cockpit, and while reacting to it, the pilot accidentally deploys the oxygen masks. Inside the compartments with the oxygen masks are a load of snakes, so now people notice the snakes. And everyone panics and tries to run. This woman decides to closely inspect her vomit bag, but oh no, there was a snake in there! What was it doing there? The plane is full of snakes, so I'm going to stay seated and get my vomit bag because I wouldn't want to make a mess if I threw up. Then this woman, who's still asleep somehow, decides to check her cleavage. And there's a snake in there too! To be fair, earlier they did show this snake crawling up this woman's dress, which means it's not stupid now. For several minutes we just get random disjointed scenes of people panicking, which I guess is true to what it would actually feel like to be in that situation. There's one joke here where I laughed with the film instead of at the film, which is this flight attendant who panics and puts a snake in the microwave, although he kind of makes it a lot less funny by staying to taunt the snake. I feel it would have been a lot funnier if it was, fuck, what do I do with this? Problem solved. Okay. Instead we get,
Who's your daddy now?
which completely changes the comedic spirit of the joke. Also, if you look closely at the microwave, it has a setting for snakes. And to cook the snake, he just presses the snake button. They don't even draw attention to it. This is the funniest shit in the film, and it's the only joke like this it has. The rest of it is just stock characters and horror tropes. I wish I could see in full this version of Snakes on a Plane, where it's actually self-aware. Unfortunately, the rest of the film's jokes are just like...
Come on, take it easy, buddy. You okay?
Son of a...
It's funny because he's awkward. He's behaving in an awkward way, and that's funny. Agent Samuel L. Jackson is able to gather the surviving passengers and crew in a part of the plane that's miraculously still snake-free, and he comes up with a genius survival plan.
We have to put a barrier between us and the snakes!
He gets the survivors to get all of the luggage they can and pile it up in the doorways so that the snakes can't get through.
Let's build a wall! Let's go!
While that's all happening, we get the scene of kickboxing men martial artsing the snakes.
You on my back. We're gonna move towards the front, okay?
Hang on a second, where the fuck did you come from? What the hell? What? In the meantime, the rest of the crew have assembled some vaguely piled up baggage that'll definitely keep snakes out, what are you talking about, and are therefore safe for the time being. We have this obligatory scene for any snake-related media.
We have to suck out the poison.
And hey, you know when something happens in a horror film that's supposed to be scary but just leaves you going, yeah, but what? What? Why was the snake inside him? Like, why did that happen? Did the snake, like, crawl inside his mouth and then change its mind halfway down his throat and leave? Or did it climb in his ass and go all the way through? This is what I want answered. Understandably, the passengers begin to get rowdy.
Why exactly are there snakes on this plane?
Why is this so funny? Dude, don't you know? Accidents happen. He'd exhausted every other option. This part of the film also has a plotline where people on the ground try to collect appropriate antivenoms, so when the plane lands they can administer them to anyone who survived a snake bite. To do this, the people on the ground need to actually know what kinds of snakes there are on the plane, so that they can find the correct antivenoms. The first thing the airborne snakebait crew do is just pick out random dead snakes they can find and attempt to describe them over the phone. Yeah, it's long, it's scaly, it's not got any legs. They get as far as telling him what color it is before they decide this strategy isn't working and try to think of something else.
Why don't we just take a picture?
Sure, let's drop an orbiter when we land, Einstein.
Ever heard of email, dickwad? We need is a digital camera and a computer. Or this. It's got both.
Oh my god, what? It's a computer and it's a digital camera? Oh, whoa! I'm watching this about 15 years after the film came out and technology has progressed. That's the joke. Fuck you. The past? Sending photos down is a cool idea, but they abandon this strategy without really mentioning it again, instead opting to track down the snake dealer that Snake Plane Boy used so that he can give them the information they need. This agent who works for the Buy manages to, in a shootout with the snake dealer, break one of the snake dealer's snake tanks, and the snake dealer is bitten by the snake that was being housed within. Yeah, he clearly works for the Buy. He's a Buy agent. Although I personally prefer his colleague from the Fee. The snake that bit the snake dealer was high highly venomous and he desperately needs an antivenom, but the Bi and the Phi agents withhold the antivenom from him until he gives them the information that they need. The scene is really weird, okay? I'll explain why. The second the agents go, "Tell us the information we need and we'll give you the antivenom," he spills all the beans. You know, he tells them everything, who he was working for, what kind of snakes were on the plane, and gives them access to the antivenoms they need to cure those people.
Is that every snake on that plane? Did Eddie Kim pay you to do this?
Yes!
Basically, he squealed all of the important information. The one question he refuses to answer until further threats are made is,
how'd you get these guys to be so aggressive? I'm wondering.
I don't know what you're talking about.
this is really weird, and let me explain why. The answer to this question is that they used a pheromone to make the snakes more aggressive. This is something that never comes up again. It doesn't have any special reason to be kept secret as far as the audience is made aware, and it's something that we as the audience already knew.
The pheromone will make these guys go fucking crazy.
It is the single most useless, least secret piece of information they get from him. This is weird from both an in-universe standpoint of why on earth would these characters make these decisions, and from a meta standpoint of why did they write it this way? Tell us who you're working for. Oh, okay, I'm working for this guy. Tell us how to stop his plan. Okay, yeah, you do it like this. Here's the antivenom you need. Finally reveal to us a piece of information that we don't actually need but have a passing curiosity about. What? No! I'll never talk! You can't make me! They managed to get a list of snakes on the plane and all the antivenoms they need. Surely you need to know which snake has bitten which person, since there are so many different snakes on the... Okay, no? You're just gonna gloss over that? Okay. The antivenom problem has been solved! Meanwhile, in the sky, we desperately need some more cliches, like this flight attendant who dies, and that's something the film wants us to be really sad about. But instead of achieving that by characterizing her until she's a three-dimensional character that we've connected with so that when she dies it's sad, they opt to, when she's dying, have her just say, "I was only one day from retirement."
They offered early retirement, but no, this broad needed one more tour of duty.
This is the only time I've ever seen that done unironically, and now her death is super, super sad. Meanwhile, the one surviving pilot gets bitten by a snake. Fucking, I'm sensing a theme with the way that people are dying in this film. But this happens to facilitate the big cliche, you knew it was coming.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Is there anyone here who knows how to fly a plane?
It's a disaster movie with the word plane in the title. Obviously this happens. This guy here gets volunteered as our new pilot. We're not supposed to realize that when his friends say that he's got experience flying, that they mean in a video game, but we do because they've shown him on a PSP this whole time and we've seen more than one film before.
Man, are you playing that damn video game? I almost beat the last level.
Hey, you, come on, Troy. You know you can do this, man.
You know how to fly?
Man, I got over 2,000 hours.
So now that they have their pilot, Samuel L. Jackson says the thing.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
Shoots out the plane's windows so that the snakes fly out. I'm not even going to touch that one. And then our plane is guided down to safety.
What squadron are you with?
I'm some fighting aces. Man, I'm telling you, the video gamers got their shit locked down tight.
Are you telling me that your only real flight time is at the controls of a video game?
What a twist. We then get our happy ending with the survivors safely on land. It's then strongly implied that the male leads will get to do sex on the female leads, because that's what happens when end of film. Have fun, guys, but be careful not to anger the snakes. They hate it when people have sex. They're incels. But the film is over. And wow! That sure was an experience. Now in 2020 that we all expect the world to have ended within the next 5 to 10 minutes, a lot of people are worried about the society that we're going to lose. But on the bright side, that is the same society that paid $36 million to create snakes on a plane. So, you win some, you lose some, eh?